Hello everyone and welcome to the first of what will probably be many book hauls on my channel this month. I have acquired so many books recently that I'm actually quite scared of hauling them, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to organise them in terms of which books are going to go in which video yet, because there are just so many of them, and if I tried to haul them all in one video, that video would take me all day to film and you guys would never ever watch a video that long. So I'm trying to figure out the best way of splitting them up in order to show them to you. So this video is going to be all about the ARCs, the advanced reader copies that I have acquired recently. As most of you will know, I am currently working at HarperCollins Publishers in London, and when I say that there are ARCs and books everywhere in our office, I mean there are literally ARCs and books everywhere, and I am just allowed to take as many books as I like, and it is just so dangerous, but it's so difficult for me to end my day at work with at least like a couple or a few books in my bag. It's really difficult. So I have 13 ARCs to show you in this video, and 11 of them are either HarperCollins books or HarperCollins imprint books. So I'm going to start off with the two ARCs that aren't HarperCollins books. So the first one I actually won in a giveaway on my friend Charlie's Facebook bookshop. I will leave a link to her bookshop in the description down below, so please go and check it out. She occasionally runs a giveaway on that Facebook page, and I was really happy this month that I won The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and that's probably a complete butchering of that name, but this book was on my wish list, so I was really happy to win a copy of it. It comes out on the 3rd of May, and it is a YA contemporary about a young girl who has a lot of secrets, including a crush on a boy that she goes to school with, and she's also a secret poet. So she writes poetry, but she hides it in a notebook underneath her bed because she's a little bit scared of sharing it with anyone. And then one day she enters a slam poetry competition, and all of her talent and her work comes to light, and she finds her true happiness and her true self and all of this kind of thing. It just sounds so beautiful, and I am currently obsessed with YA books that deal with finding your true happiness and your true purpose in life. I absolutely love stories like that, so really happy and excited to be getting into this one super soon. The next one was very kindly sent to me from Orion Books, and that is The Afterwife by Cass Hunter. And I don't know too much about this. I know this is pitched for fans of The Time Traveller's Wife and Me Before You and that kind of thing. I think it's about a woman who was a robotics scientist, and her life's work was basically this humanoid robot who looks and sounds exactly like her. And when she dies, suddenly her family kind of take this robot in and almost get to know her again, and I think it explores the differences between real and virtual relationships. It sounds really tragic and really unique, but yeah, I'm really excited to get stuck into this super soon, and I absolutely love that cover. It's just so intriguing. So yeah, really excited for this one. All of the rest of the books I'm going to talk about in this haul are all HarperCollins books, as I've told you. So the first one is called Women by Chloe Caldwell, and this is just a really little skinny book, and I believe this is literally a story of a woman discovering that she is a lesbian. She falls in love with a much older woman, and it's just about her dealing with this. I don't know too much else about it, but I was just really intrigued by it, and it sounds like something really different. So yeah, really looking forward to getting into this one. I believe this is already out. It says it came out on the 8th of March. So yeah, have a look for this one in your bookshops if you are interested. The next one is a YA contemporary called Far From the Tree by Robin Benway, and I believe this is about 3 biological siblings who were all split up when they were young. They were all adopted by different families, but one of them decides that she wants to reconnect with her 2 siblings, and I think it's all about them coming together again. I think they all have different opinions and attitudes towards this reunion. Some of them want it, some of them don't, and it's just about them dealing with their past and learning to be a family again. I've heard really good things about this and Robin Benway in general, so yeah, really looking forward to this. I believe this one is already out too. Doesn't say when it came out, but I think I have seen this in shops, so yeah, have a look for this one too. The next one I literally just picked up because it was really, really intriguing. It was sitting on the table in the kitchen and I just picked it up right away, and it is called House of Beauty by Melba Escobar, and I looked it up on Goodreads, and this was actually translated from Spanish. So it was originally written in Spanish and then it was translated, and it says on the cover: nails, lips, brows, wax, tweeze, thread, full leg, half leg, bikini line, half hour, 1 hour, one night, manicures, massage, misogyny, murder. And then on the back it says, welcome to House of Beauty. Karen will be taking care of you today. Relax, turn off your phone. Whatever you tell Karen will stay in this cubicle. She'll listen to you. She listens to all the women she sees here. Perhaps she'll talk about her own life. Why is she so desperate for money? What is she so afraid of? And what does she know about Sabrina Guzman, the teenager who has been found dead? Is it true Karen was one of the last people to see her alive? Can you keep a secret? And this came out on the 8th of March too, but I've not really seen it around. But it sounds really, really good, like a really unique thriller, obviously set in a beauty salon. So yeah, really, really excited to be digging into this one, hopefully super soon too. The next one is a very popular, very recently released psychological thriller called Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris, and I've heard amazing, absolutely incredible things about B.A. Paris in general. I know some of my bookish friends who are super into their psychological thrillers absolutely rave about her work all the time. This is her latest release, and I believe this is an ARC because it doesn't have a price tag on the back, and that's how you can generally tell because obviously it's illegal to sell ARCs, but it's got these beautiful like yellow spray painted edges, and I don't know too much about this. It just says on the back, turn off your phone, cancel your plans, forget sleep. And yeah, I'm just super, super excited. This will probably be my first B.A. Paris book. I think I have a couple of her others on my Kindle, but I think I'm going to read this one super soon. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. The next one is The Rabbit Hunter by Lars Kepler, and I picked this up literally because of the cover. It says, first you hear a nursery rhyme, 19 minutes later you die, and that sounds exactly like my kind of thing. I love dark crime thriller, maybe possibly supernatural type books. So it says in the inside cover, a stranger wearing a mask stands in the shadow of a garden. He's watching his first victim through the window. He will kill him slowly, make it last, play him a nursery rhyme, make him pay. There's only one person the police can turn to, ex-detective Juna Linner, but he's serving time in a high-security prison. So they offer him a chance to secure his freedom, help Superintendent Saga Bauer track down the vicious killer known as the Rabbit Hunter before he strikes again. Soon, another three victims have been murdered, and Stockholm is in the grip of terror. Juna Linner must catch a disturbed predator whose trail of destruction leads back to one horrific night of violence, with consequences more terrifying than anyone could have imagined. So I love me some Scandi crime. I absolutely love Scandinavian thrillers because they tend to be very, very bloody and violent, and that's definitely my kind of thing. This comes out on the 3rd of May, so not too long to wait for this one, but yeah, really, really looking forward to this. The next one is a book that came out at the start of this year. It came out on the 25th of January, I believe, and this one is called She's Not There by Tamsin Gray. And this is a story of two young brothers who wake up one day and their mother is missing, but there are lots and lots of clues around their house as to what could have happened to her and where she could have gone. And I think the older one kind of takes charge, and they go on this little mysterious adventure to find their mother and find out what happened to her. It just sounds really, really cute, really, really intriguing. It says on the front, brighter today. That's what she'd written, sitting on the corduroy cushion. Then a breeze had lifted the pages and they'd fluttered and battered against each other, all covered in her squiggly writing. And she'd reached forward with her dry brown hand and flipped the book closed. So that's really, really vague, but really, really exciting. So yeah, really looking forward to this one too. The next one doesn't come out until August, I think, and that is The Rules of Seeing by Jo Heap. And it says on the cover, what you see depends on what you're looking for. And I don't know too much about this. I believe it's to do with someone who is visually impaired, and what the different versions of seeing is that you don't normally have to physically be able to see in order to understand people and understand the world and things like that. I believe this is going to be a really, really uplifting, different kind of story. So yeah, really looking forward to this one too. The next one is another thriller, I think, called The Ice by Layleen Paul, and it says on the back, how deep do the lies go? And this comes out in, no, it's already out. It came out last May. It came out in May 2017. And I'm just going to look for some kind of description. It says, it's the day after tomorrow and the Arctic sea ice has melted. While global business carves up the new frontier, cruise ships race each other to ever rarer wildlife sightings. The passengers on the Vanir have come seeking a polar bear. What they find is even more astonishing, a dead body. It's Tom Harding, lost in an accident 3 years ago and now revealed by the melting ice of Midgard Glacier. Tom had come to Midgard to help launch the new venture of his best friend of 30 years, Sean Corson, a man whose business relies on discretion and powerful connections, and who was the last person to see him alive. Their friendship had been forged by a shared obsession with Arctic exploration, and although Tom's need to save the world often clashed with Sean's desire to conquer it, Sean has always believed that underneath it all they shared the same goals. But as the inquest into Tom's death begins, the choices made by both men in love and in life are put on the stand, and when cracks appear in the foundation of Sean's glamorous world, he's forced to question what price he's really paid for a seat at the establishment's table. Just how deep do the lies go? So that sounds really, really interesting too. I know that Layleen Paul is known for her book called The Bees, which I know is a really unique bestseller that came out a couple of years ago now, so really, really looking forward to digging into her latest one too. The next one is another psychological thriller that I've heard really, really good early reviews for. I believe this comes out next month, and that is Cross Her Heart by Sarah Pinborough. And I don't know too much about this. All it says on the front, cross her heart and hope to die. Lisa, Ava, Marilyn, someone is living a lie, but who? And I've heard amazing things about this, as I've said. So yeah, really, really looking forward to this one too. The next one is a YA fantasy that I believe has just come out, and that is The Queens of Innis Leah by Tessa Gratton. And I believe this is a story of 3 queens. It says 3 sisters, 1 kingdom, a house divided. So that kind of reminds me of the Kenda Blake 3 Dark Crowns series. But I've heard really, really good things about this. So yeah, absolutely stunning arc, as you can see. I don't think there's any more description I can get. Oh, it does say actually in the inside cover, it begins when a wizard cleaves an island from the mainland because the king destroyed her temple. It begins on the day 2 bright hearts are born to the island, one just past dawn as a crescent moon rises, and the other when the sun is brightest, obscuring the glow of stars. It begins when a queen sits in a pool of stars. So, I mean, that sounds very, very vague, but yeah, super excited for this one too. And the last one is actually an arc of a book that I've already read, and it came out at the start of this year, but it's one of my favourite books that I've read so far this year, and that is 3 Things About Elsie by Joanna Cannon. And this is an arc, this is a floppy paperback arc of this book, and it looks exactly like the finished hardcover, and when I saw it in like pristine condition, it's like, oh my gosh, I really, really need this book on my shelf. So this is the story of an old lady called Florence who is in her 80s and she's living in sheltered accommodation, and she's fallen over in her flat, and while she's waiting to be rescued by a staff member, she starts thinking about her life and all of the things that have had an impact on her, including her wonderful friendship with her best friend Elsie. She remembers that there's this guy who's just moved in to her block who has a really, really striking resemblance to someone that she knows died 60 years before, and it's all about her solving this mystery, and it's just so beautiful. I loved the friendship between Elsie and Florence, and I loved the little mystery element thrown in there as well. It's just really, really, really lovely book. So yeah, I was really, really happy to find this pristine, beautiful arc in my office this month. So yeah, really, really happy to have this. And that is it for my arc haul. I'm sorry that I couldn't give you that much information on a lot of these books, but hopefully you will be inspired to look them up on Goodreads and check them out for yourself. I will leave all of my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.